was just looking through the news and basically saw confirmation of the video I made the other day about the J-35 becoming the MiG-21 of this century. And like I said, I was just kind of looking through things, and it's going to be the end story, but we'll just kind of run through a few things here. So I was looking through this. This is the Chinese-Pakistani arms deal. The Pakistan government publicly confirmed its intentions via social media on Friday, detailing plans to acquire 40 J-35 fifth-generation fighter jets alongside KJ-500 airborne early warning and HQ-19 ballistic missile defense systems, which are also anti-low Earth orbit satellite defense systems. They're designed to shoot down satellites in low Earth orbit. But as I was looking through that, this popped up. AVIC releases images of Pakistani Air Force pilot inside J-35A stealth fighter cockpit. And this is the picture. As Pakistani Air Force pilot training inside a J-35. J-35, developed by Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, is a subsidiary of AVIC and China's second indigenously developed fifth-generation fighter aircraft after the J-20 Mighty Dragon. According to credible reports, China is expected to deliver the first batch of these low-observable stealth fighters to the Pakistani Air Force within the coming months. Early reported by Defense Security Asia indicated that Beijing is expediting the delivery of the J-35A to ensure Pakistan receives the aircraft by the first quarter of 2026. Citing sources within the Pakistani Air Force, the report stated that China had agreed to accelerate the J-35 delivery schedule by 6 months to reinforce Pakistan's strategic deterrence posture. Pakistan is expected to operate a fleet of approximately 40 J-35A fighters, making it the first foreign operator of China's fifth-generation combat aircraft. Senior Pakistani government officials told defense outlet Janes that the delivery of J-35 to Islamabad will take place in the coming months. Within the coming months. So production of these things is got to be well underway. Now, obviously, how their production is going and the numbers is something they're not going to go out and publicly say. But if they're already exporting it, then they've got to be well into production. And I'm going to show at the end of this a little bit of evidence of that as well. Another U.S. ally looks to buy Chinese J-35 stealth jets. Egypt, traditionally a U.S. ally, could be seeking to acquire Chinese J-35 fighter jets, according to aviation and defense outlet. Newsweek has contacted Egyptian Foreign Ministry and China's State Council Information Office for comment. The J-35 fighter jet, modeled after the American F-35, is gaining more appeal as China, competing with the United States, seeks to expand its influence in South Asia, the Middle East, and the broader Arab region. Now, just recently, Egypt and China had co-training. They were training together in Egypt. China sent 4 long-range transport aircraft and J-10 fighters to train alongside MiG-29s and Su-35s or Su-30s, I believe. I did a video about it. And the video I did was Chinese-Egyptian training involves India because they use the same aircraft Egypt does that India uses. It's Su-30Ks, I believe. But that article, this is the Egyptian Air Force looking at a 5th-generation model of the J-35 at a recent, I believe this was the Paris Air Show, Chinese delegation in Cairo promoting 5th-generation J-35. And They were seen at the recent Paris Air Show. Another one. China's J-35 courting buyers barred from US F-35. China's fifth generation jet targets nations like Saudi Arabia, frustrated by terms of restrictions on U.S. fighter jet sales. The U.S. has refused to sell its top-of-the-line F-35 fighter to Saudi Arabia, given Washington's legal obligation to maintain Israel's qualitative military edge in the region. Guy McCardle reports in a December 2024 SOFREP article that the U.S. refuses to sell F-35s to Saudi Arabia due to deep concern over technology, security, and geopolitical alignment. Whether that's the case right now, after the recent events in the Middle East, and after the president's visit to Saudi Arabia, where he signed a lot of deals with Middle Eastern countries, this may not be as in stone as it used to be. At stake, he writes, F-35's proprietary software, which includes source code that remains U.S. controlled, leaving Saudi Arabia dependent on the U.S. for upgrades and operational sovereignty. He also warns that integrating F-35 with Chinese-made Saudi air defenses could compromise the jet's stealth and intelligence sharing capabilities. While Saudi Arabia has sought participation in the UK, Italy, Japan Global Combat Air Program, slated to enter service in 2035, development delays in the program could raise questions on why Saudi Arabia should wait long when the J-35 already exists. Saudi Arabia may thus consider the J-35 as part of a broader hedge between the U.S. and China. And the J-35 source code. This is one of the biggest hindrances to the export of the F-35 is the refusal of the United States to allow its source code to go to other countries. And understandable. This is completely understandable. In order to maintain operational capability of the aircraft, it has to be updated like any other piece of equipment today. This is just how it is. So what are some of the other countries that might be interested? Well, in this article, this is from India Defense Research Wing, so take it with a grain of salt. The latest issue of Air Force's Monthly challenges these expectations, citing sources indicating that an unnamed country, possibly Egypt, Algeria, or Saudi Arabia, will be the first to receive the J-35 during its low initial production phase. The magazine, known for its exclusive coverage of global air forces, does not specify the reasons for Pakistan's deferral, but suggests that China's prioritization of another customer could delay the PAF's induction timeline. Now, this article might be quite out of date or wishful thinking, because we've already seen the pictures of the pilot sitting in the cockpit. This picture right here. By the way, notice the helmet. Notice the helmet. That helmet in itself might be something people might want to be interested in taking a look at. But we've got Saudi Arabia, possibly. Algeria, possibly. We know we have Pakistan. And probably Egypt. And then there's one more maybe. Now this one's going to be a little bit different. But this article was out of the national interest. Iran is preparing to buy a new air force from China. This is a good deal for both sides. It will enhance China's weapons export market and give Iran considerable new capabilities, as its air force was in the shambles even before the war. And this article just talks about the possible interest in an aircraft such as the J-10, which you could totally understand. Now, after what just happened, I think it's highly unlikely that they're going to be allowed to rebuild their Air Force anytime soon. This article was out of the war zone just the other day. Israel vows to maintain air superiority over Iran. Israel's defense minister ordered the IDF to devise a plan to keep Iran from restoring its ballistic missile capabilities and furthering its nuclear program. I think it's highly unlikely that Iran is going to be allowed to rebuild its Air Force. But if it did, I don't think that they would look at the J-10. After everything that just happened over the last 3 weeks, one of the lessons you've learned is that stealth works. Stealth works. And if you have the opportunity to be on the cutting edge of that by acquiring something like the J-35, and if you are the Chinese and a lot of your oil comes from Iran, there's a deal to be made here. There's a deal to be made here. You're already accelerating the procurement for Pakistan. We know this. We have evidence from both sides. This is an image, and what was the tweet? The caption accompanying the image of the AVIC official channel simply reads, "Buyers gives good reviews, offering subtle confirmation of the delivery agreement." That's referring to the delivery agreement of 40 J-35s to the Pakistani Air Force. So I don't think Israel is going to allow this to happen. But if they were in some way able to rebuild their Air Force, I would suspect it would be the J-35. And this is the J-35 naval variant, the aircraft on the top. The one below it is known to be in a testing phase. They also obscured the top of the tail, if you notice, on the bottom aircraft. But the top one is the naval variant. This is out of the war zone. China's J-35 naval stealth fighter seen like never before. As well as new imagery of the J-35, we've gotten our best look at the KJ-600 carrier-based airborne early warning aircraft. And I did a video about this as well. This is a beautiful aircraft, by the way. The lines of this thing are gorgeous. And they should be. They look a lot like another airplane in the world. But I just wanted to come through and show this new article. Pakistan seems to be getting their J-35, their fish bed of the 21st century, just like everybody else seems to be shopping for the J-35. I don't think China's going to care about the source code like we do. I think they're just going to give the platform and the source code, knowing that if they need to, they can hack it. They're the ones who made it. They're the ones who are good at hacking and stealing all this proprietary information in the first place. So what does it matter? So I wanted to get this video, get this out, and everything will be in the description. Hope you guys like it. If you did, hit the like. Subscribe, share with a friend, let them know. The J-35, people are buying. They're buying all over the world, and that the exports, they're already happening. Thank you. Appreciate you.